Hey, 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 let me mute my phone. Housekeeping. All right. And make sure that I am live because y'all know technology tries to do what it want to do around here in these streets. And we can't have that. Not today. Okay. So if you are here with me, go ahead and send me a little comment. Tell me yes. Send me some hearts or something so I know you here. And while you're here, after you heart and say, hey, I'm in here, go ahead and share. All right. So let me go ahead and share too. First of all, let me see if I'm live. All right, I got one viewer, so I must be live right now at least. Okay, I see some people coming in. So go ahead, tell your friends. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds. Oh, let me do this little 30-second countdown while y'all share. I can share. Y'all know we like playing with stuff. 30 seconds to share. All right, so I see some people in, so we're all sharing. Join me now. Okay. So first of all, let me introduce myself to the new people that do not know. I am Tharissa M, not Teresa, but Tharissa. Make sure you learn it because you'll be hearing about me all the time, right? So what I am is I am a mindset management coach. I am a business advisor, a motivational storyteller, and the host of this phenomenal show, Behind the Highlight Reels, where we literally go behind all the highlight reels that social people put up on social media or on their Instagram and all that good stuff, all the books that we always talk about, all the glory and all the good stuff. We go behind the highlight reels where the lessons are learned and the hard times are felt. And we have transparent conversations about what happens there because we're supposed to share those stories. Because if I can't share what happens to me in reality, then I can't help you make it beyond where I was or make it through your struggles because my struggles and my lessons should be shared. So that's what we do on this show. And today we have a phenomenal special show. All right, so let me get my stuff together. Okay. While y'all were sharing, I'm gonna tell y'all about. Oh, hey, Jamal. All right, I'm going to tell y'all about the phenomenal, like amazing person that we have on the show today. Another phenomenal, strong Black woman. Y'all know I love them. Okay, today we will have Crystal McLean. Y'all, I've been saying her name probably wrong the whole time, and this is like my sister. I don't even know why, but you know. Listen, she is going to talk to us this morning or afternoon. It may be morning, afternoon, wherever time zone it is for the replay viewers. Hey, you all. But she's going to come with us today. Let me tell y'all about this woman. Got my biography paper ready. Okay. So, of course, she's a native of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Okay. So, Fayetteville, North Carolina. I mean, I'm in Alabama now, but that's always North Carolina's home. Alumni of Fayetteville State University. She has her bachelor's degree in banking and finance. So she know what she talk about. She know money. If she don't know nothing else, she know money, okay? She went through the Kaplan University. She done received Series 6, Series 63, which gives her the opportunity to assist clients on a deeper financial level. I don't even know what all that stuff mean, but listen, she got it so she can help us out here in these streets. So we're trying to get it together, okay? She is a proud supporter of her community. Yes, the whole community, and involved in numerous volunteers and charitable organizations. She plays a direct, impactful role in her local assembly as a youth pastor. Yes, Lord. Okay, she about to set us straight with getting our mindsets right, finances, and with the Lord, okay? And she has a true passion for young people. That's exactly why we're going to do her phenomenal book reveal, cover reveal today. When I tell y'all, I'm super excited, right? So, without further ado, let me bring in Crystal. Hey, girl.
Hey,
How are you this morning?
I am good. It's afternoon here, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
good.
Listen, I'm so used to saying good morning because I used to do this talk and I do it a lot of times, but I always start with saying good morning and it'd be nighttime. People be like, what's she talking about? Because a lot of us are walking around in darkness,
Oh,
right?
you gotta turn it
Because
on.
we're missing important and key information. So when you get this information, it is a brand new day, honey. So good morning
Good
to
morning.
everybody because this information we about to get brand new, okay?
Well, since you
All
put it,
right. So, Crystal, woo, all the accolades. And y'all, let me show y'all this girl bio. Okay. I read a piece of it. That was just a snippet. Tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you all about around here in these streets.
well, I'm not gonna go into all the deep stuff. I mean, honestly, I am a real down to earth person. I really love young people. If anyone knows me for real, knows that I love, have a heart, a passion for young people. I mean, I've been in the banking and finance industry going on 8 years now. I got my degree in banking and finance. And all of that was just a burden of not being able to see that conversation around finances normalized. And I was trying to figure it out for myself. So I mean, I'm Crystal. I don't know. Like I am Crystal. And I mean, I just love people. I love kids. I love pushing other people. I'm a big advocate
Mm.
for business owners, our Black business women out here doing amazing things like yourself. I am just a pusher to push to the purpose that we all have within us.
Listen, this ain't nothing but a word, all right? So I know we see if y'all follow her, if first of all, if you're not following her after the show, go ahead and go like her page because you're gonna see she is not just out here doing one thing. She is doing so much for the community, for our people, to make sure that she gives back to young children. She is like the epitome of strong Black woman, okay? So, Crystal, give us a little bit of experience or tell us a little bit about your experience when it comes to like financial literacy because you are like financial literacy. Y'all, I call her expert. She like to be like, well, I'm not an expert. She's so humble. But listen, when you know what you know, you're an expert out here in these streets, okay? So tell us a little bit about your experience with finances growing up because I know like for me, growing up, finances are always in that a negative mindset of we ain't have it. Like don't ask for nothing. You ain't get nothing. You ain't got no McDonald's money, no Target money, that type of
Right.
thing. Did you have that same type of experience growing
Yes,
up?
don't you look at nothing, don't breathe on nothing, don't perch nothing, nothing.
Yes.
But I would say for me, growing up, finances was more like a fear. We didn't have much. So, and I thank God for my mama because my mama was a single mother, working hard. She worked 2 jobs. But I did understand that during that process, I didn't know a lot about finances. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's more like don't ask about it. If she get you something, you get something. But overall, you just kind of knew, like you could just tell by your environment that it's just like. But luckily for us, my mom, like I said, she worked really hard. So growing up, although I although I didn't have everything I wanted, I had everything I needed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think where I started to shift mentally was when I got into college, because I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing about money. I didn't know. So like when they had like, I remember they had like this campus fair type thing, and I applied for a credit card. Child, I didn't know nothing. Okay. And I remember I went to JC Penney with my roommate and I blew that card up. I was like, we're getting a new wardrobe. I'm about to
Girl.
years out here. Y'all are not gonna even know who she is. That's what I was excited about. But nobody told me that next month that bill was coming. No one told me. And so I was very ignorant. I was very ignorant
Mm-hmm.
of finances. And so I remember, then now as a single mother, just struggling. You know,
Mm-hmm.
my passion for finances has not come from me just learning it and having it all the way. No, mine's came from some ratchet living listen, honey, just scritching and scratching to just make it happen. And
Yeah.
so and that birthed in me just being, depressed and struggling and robbing Peter to pay Paul. It birthed something in me that people need to know. Why is it that children learn about something in school? Like, when was the last time you had to do something with the quadrilateral triangle? When was the last time in your adult life you had to do something
Right.
along the lines of that? You had to remember. No, but they get out of school and don't know nothing about finances, but the rest of their life they got to deal with finances. Why is this topic not normalized? So that's where my passion was really birthed from.
So I love that you say that, because I feel like it's so important that, like, for example, how we were talking about how we grew up. We don't even realize that we're learning. We're being created. We're creating a mindset about finances at such a young age. And it's not like, nothing bad about our parents, but they don't know what they don't know. So
That's
when
right.
it comes to teaching us, that all they know is how to survive. Well, if Black people don't know one thing, they know how to survive.
You said
So
something.
it's and I get to people, and I tell people this all the time. It's time for us to stop living in survival mode. It's time for us
Mhm.
to strive and be in that abundance and prosperity mode. And it's a good thing to know how to survive, because if something hit the fan, we got it. We're gonna make it work. Like, we out here making Roman noodle sandwiches and stuff. Like, okay. But we can do better than just surviving. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that, about how we need to do more, and not just living in ignorance, like not being okay with just being ignorant. Like,
Right.
we're not going to do that no more. Okay.
Right.
So, how important, because you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but like, how important is financial literacy to you? Like, I know that it's very important, but how important is that? Like, one of the main things that you teach your kids and tell people about, or what?
Well, it's one of the top of the list, but it's not the top. The top is first, because I'm a believer. So definitely teaching my child and the other youth that I have influence with about the kingdom, about God, about who our Father is, about salvation. So that's the number one thing in my priority list. But then after that is making sure that, yes, we set them up for success.
Mm-hmm.
That my pastor taught years ago, you can work with both hands. You can be wise in the marketplace, and you can also be a kingdom citizen. And so my biggest thing is teaching them how to be balanced, that you don't got to be broke to be saved. You don't got to
Mm-hmm.
have busted credit to be saved. Like, who said that? Where did that come from? Where's that mindset? Like, come on. My father Abba, he owns the cattle on top of the hill. Like, he got all of that. So why I gotta be living broke? No, we live broke because of our mindset. We live broke because
Mm-hmm.
we don't we don't right the wrongs. Yes, okay, I get it. We didn't learn as much as we should have learned. But now with technology, now with the
Yes.
resources, with the books, now okay, now what? Okay, so we
Right.
can't keep using the same excuse to say, well, we wasn't taught it. That's right, we wasn't taught it, but how do we now normalize, change the conversation, and change our mindset to no longer point the finger and say, well, they didn't teach me that. Okay, well, what are you teaching yourself? Okay,
Exactly.
responsibility. And so, and I'm not talking to just youth, really, more so parents. We got to have the conversation and the knowledge first in order for us to then pass it down to this next generation. We need to not leave behind debt. We need to not,
Yes.
when are we going to start leaving behind inheritances? When? And so we got to start changing the way we think about this.
Listen, you said all of that, because we have this conversation so much. We as Christians, we can't say that we believe that God has so much for us and Jesus died for us. He didn't die for us to stay broke. Those lashes was not for brokenness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so glad that you said we got to take the time to learn. Like, and y'all, if y'all know Crystal, she DIY shorty over here. We're gonna talk more about that in a minute. But like, we at some point we have to take the time to say, hey, this is what happened to us. This is what we lacked, but this is where I'm going to kind of make up for that. And of course, we'll never be able to make up for it in the way that, we all didn't start off in the same starting line, but we can do better.
Come
And
on.
we have to do better. And I'm so glad that you also talked about leaving an inheritance. And for the people that did not watch, what was it, last week? with Lisa Bailey. Go watch Behind the Highlight Reels with Lisa Bailey, because that's literally what she was talking about. How to leave behind an inheritance and not leave behind burdens and stress for your family. Because even the Lord said, make sure you watch to the end, because at the end, she gives us the Bible verse. I don't know it specifically because I can't remember it all, but she said, the Lord said, if you don't leave behind an inheritance, then you are no better than an infidel. Is that what it was? I think it say that, infidel. One of them words that I was like, ooh, ooh, it touched my soul. So literally right after that, I got off the phone and off the live and was like, Lisa, let's talk. Like, so I'm so glad that, like, we can't only take care of what we're leaving behind, but let's take care of what we're doing now so that we can have something to leave behind. So, Crystal, all right, let's talk about the importance of mindset, because we already talking about mindset, but like, how important was mindset? How did you get started in financing and researching for yourself? Because Crystal's one, like, okay, let me tell y'all, if y'all pay attention to Crystal stuff, she's all about how to learn for yourself. There's so many people out here be like, I can fix your credit for $30. I can fix your credit for $100. All those signs on the side of the road. And she's like, listen, you can have them fix your credit, but then you're not going to know what you need to know to fix it if you mess it up again. Like, what's the purpose of having someone do something if you're not going to learn how to not do it or avoid it? Or even if you get back into that same situation, how you gonna get yourself back out? You gonna keep spending $150 or whatever? Like, what the Bible say, teach a man to fish?
Is that
like, okay, so she gonna show us. How did you get started into researching for yourself? Like, why didn't you go to the people on the side of the road? Like, why
first of all, when you really struggling, you ain't got no money to pay nobody else. But honestly, it was a matter of, I wanted to learn, and it wasn't like I just wanted to learn like coursework. I wanted to learn, how can I not only learn from me, because anything I learn, if anybody knows me for real, I give it back out. Like, I am not the type of person to hold it in. I'm not selfish with my knowledge. It's like, if I learn it, come on, let me teach you. Like, I'm excited to teach people. And so my biggest thing with that was, I don't want to just give somebody my lack, or give somebody my ignorance, literally, by saying, I make a decision not to figure this out. I made a mess, and I'm really like, hey, come in here and clean this up for me. No, like, that's irresponsible. And so I just believed at that point in my life that, one, I was not going to pay for somebody my mess, my spilled milk. I wanted to take the time to learn, how did I, one, make this mistake? How did I mess this up? How did I jack this up? And the mindset is a big deal, because, you know, you do what your thoughts. Your thoughts is all. If you say, I'm about to go on a shopping spree, that started with the thought. And so, one, you got to think about the consequences of those thoughts. If I say, well, I want to go out, I want to go travel, and I know I'm already in debt, then it's like, well, that was a thought. So when you start to change your mindset and realize that, one, I got somewhere that I'm trying to be. So that's number one, starting with goal management. What is your goal financially? If you don't have any goals, you don't even know if you made it. You don't even know if you hit the mark. So one is starting with a goal. What do I want to be in 5 years? What do my finances want to look like in 10 years? What do I want to leave behind to my daughter? Or if I pass away today, what do I want to happen? If there's no goal, there's no nothing. Literally, you won't even know if you obtained it. And then it started with, okay, change around. Really, I realized that it matters who you hang around.
Yes.
I'm not saying that, you got to completely change your friendship. It just means on certain levels, you know how to handle certain people. So if I know you're not that good with money, I know I can't go shopping with you. I know I can't. You're the type of person to say, I need you to get that. So you got to watch who you hang around in this season of your life when you are trying to repair. Don't be with somebody that's already struggling with you trying to repair to get out of. You just can't. And then number two is then create a plan. You got the goal. You done shifted your circle, maybe hanging around people that actually do got a budget, or those that have accumulated some wealth and things like that. And then you create a plan, create a budget. Look at what you've been spending. Look at what you've been doing. Look at what those credit card purchases have been doing. It really starts with the thought. Where am I now? Where do I want to be? And how can I get there?
Listen, it's so important. Like, come on now. It's so important for us to also be transparent with
Yeah,
ourselves. Because when you sitting here lying, like, first of all, when you're lying to yourself,
yeah,
you'll never make it out of where you at.
that's
Like,
right.
never. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Like, we're not gonna lie to ourselves. We're gonna be honest. And you're not telling everybody don't need to know your business. You don't owe nobody no explanation as to why you don't want to hang with them no more. Like, we have to get out of that mindset. Like, shift your mindset. And it just because you're saying I'm not gonna hang with them no more, doesn't mean that you're not gonna hang with them no more all the time. Is hey, I may hang with you in this setting, but I know, like you said, I cannot go shopping with you because I need somebody to be like, is that really, like, do you need,
Exactly.
or
Some
I don't need
accountability.
a yes woman like, girl, yes, girl, and then
Uh-huh.
broke sitting at the bus stop.
Yeah.
Like, that was my whole college. So, we're not going to do that.
No.
And so I'm so glad. So Lisa gave us, let me find this thing so I can read this Bible verse. Lisa gave us the Bible verse, First
Come
Timothy
on.
5 and 8. But those who won't care for their relatives, especially those in their own household, have denied the true faith. Some people are worse. Such people are worse than unbelievers. So, I'm so glad that you care about your own household and the rest of the community, because you really are, like, especially us Christians, like, we believe in Jesus and teaching other people what we know. Like, there's no way to truly teach all of God, all of Jesus, and then try to teach people that we got to remain broke. That's not what the Lord says. He said he wants us to prosper. He said he wants us to have an abundance. Like, that's not abundant. So we got to start somewhere. So you said we want to, and sorry if I'm shaking, I'm trying to write. So we want to teach ourselves, start with the knowledge. Where did you start? Like, because if you start just Googling stuff, it's so much information out there. Where did you start? What type of stuff did you look up? Help the people out. What we need to look up?
I'm gonna be honest. I did start off the wrong journey. I started off with Googling because I mean, you just get everything in one
Perfect.
place.
Google.
But
That's our go-to.
I'm telling you, but that thing will cause you, like, by the end of the night, to be like, I'm done. I quit. I'm over it because
Mm-hmm.
it's so overly consumed.
Yeah.
One thing I would always suggest is books. And I know people nowadays don't really like to read the books, but maybe Audible. But like Dave Ramsey, and I got some of my books here. Dave Ramsey is an amazing. He teaches a lot of different tools about money makeover. So he is a really good author. This one book talks about the millionaire mind, and it really surveyed a lot of millionaires, and it tried to figure out how they think and what do they do on a daily basis. So this is an amazing book. It's a little lengthy book, but it is an amazing book. And then David Bach, he has Smart Couples Finish Rich, but he also has Smart Women Finish Rich. I think he has Smart Men Finish Rich. I know he has different series, but for me, I wanted to get one for me and my husband. So Smart Couples Finish Rich. But I honestly say reading is fundamental, really, because when you can read and you can take notes, you can guide yourself on a journey. And a lot of these are broken down into sections, and they actually require you to do homework. Like
Yeah.
this that I showed is an actual workbook, so you actually have to go through it and write in, what you've done, and do those homework assignments. Because I just believe, when you actually do the work while you're reading it, while you're getting the information in, it helps you, one, to retain it, and then two, it helps you be accountable to get it done. um,
Mm-hmm.
Reading it is better for me than actually searching all these different avenues online. But I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. If that's been working for you, it is a quick access, but I think reading is really good and it's more streamlined.
So I'm kind of the same way. With me, I have so many books. As y'all can see, that's just a snippet of books. And being able to write in the pages is a lot different from even me reading on my phone and things like
Yeah.
that. Like, I love writing in the pages, because don't just read one book one time. When I go back and read the second time, it is such a grateful feeling of gratitude when I read it, and then I remember what I wrote then, and I see what I wrote, and I see, like, how far I've come. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
take notes. Like, so you can just keep your testimony in your book. Take notes of where
Okay.
you are, and don't feel so stressed to finish a book, like
Mhm.
so quickly. Take your time with a book. Let me tell you,
Take your
I
time.
tell people this all the time. It's over there. I ain't gonna get up because we halfway dressed around here in these streets. But it's this book called The Great Leap, The Big Leap. Y'all, it took me 2 years to read that book. The book ain't but this big. Like, it's a quick read, but it took me 2 years because I wanted to sit and let it simmer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted to sit and write down notes and actually do what the book say. And I've read it now like 2, 3 times. It's so raggedy. It's so many notes in the book, but those are the best times to gain knowledge. Write it down. So y'all, if you go use Google some books to read, or Amazon, put you some little, Amazon Prime, let them send it tomorrow or something, so that you can write in the pages. And if you do read a book like online or something, write the notes out. I know,
Yeah.
like, from school we hated taking notes and stuff, but take those notes so that you know, and write down where you get it from so you can go back and refresh your memory. Because maybe everybody ain't got money for books and stuff like that. So we're trying to get ourselves together so that we can have money for books. And so maybe all you have is a pen and paper to write it down. And go back and look at it. It take time, y'all. It took, like what you say, Crystal. It took us years to get into it. Not
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a quick fix.
Overnight. Mm-mm.
Right. So, we talked about, okay, the type of questions. So when we're looking at our own financial, like, I guess, our financial positioning, we talked about goals and stuff, but what type of questions do we need to ask? Like, of course, we need to know, the credit score and stuff, but like, what type of questions do I need to ask myself when it comes to like trying to figure out my place in this financial world?
Well, one, I say you would start with the, I can't say simple, but start with the baseline stuff. My balance in all my accounts. What's my net worth? Okay, so like that means how much are my assets and how much are my liabilities? And then I figure out what my net worth is. That's big. I remember the first time I did my net worth years ago, and I almost cried. I was like, "Wow." It's like, what happened? Because that thing was in the red. Okay, so doing your net worth will actually give you a clear indication of where you are financially.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to do. You can literally find them on Pinterest, find them on Google, net worth sheet. They're so easy to do. And then after you do that, also start to figure out if you're a parent, figure out what do you want for your child for the future. So start thinking about, do I want my child to go to college? How much does that cost? How much do I need to start setting aside?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a retirement plan, or do I have, and I don't just say a 401k plan, I'm saying, do I have a plan for retirement? What do I
Right.
want it to look like? Am I, going to live here? Am I going to live? Do I have, here's one thing, GoFundMe for funerals. What's that about? Like, why do we as people, and I love Lisa's from last week, because she talked a lot about life insurance and things like that. So why do we have to get a GoFundMe page to bury our child? Why? And
GoFundMe is not an insurance plan.
it is not an insurance policy. So
GoFundMe should be a last case resort. Like, we done messed up.
it shouldn't be an
Want
option.
to rely on GoFundMe.
Okay, like, we should not have to put cash ups for your funeral. Like, that should not be the case. So a legacy, plan. What is if I died today? Corona is taking people out like that. And you should really be asking yourself, if I died today, what would happen? Like, okay, if I'm married, my husband would lose a stream of income. How would that, like, what would happen? What do I have to replace that? My child may not. What will happen? Start thinking, and I say, start asking yourself those tough conversations, those tough questions, because when you ask yourself tough questions, you can provide yourself with answers now that will then put you in a better position for the future. But those are some baseline things to really start to have that conversation.
Mm-hmm. So I like that, because a lot of times we don't want to think about like if something happened. Like we had this whole thing. I don't want to think about it because I don't want to speak it into existence and things like that. No, you're not speaking into existence. Like for example, I talked about on one of my posts irrational fears and versus rational fears. And how rational fears are stuff that's gonna happen. So when people like have a fear of death, that's gonna happen. So why are we afraid to talk about it? You ain't gonna cheat it. Like where you think you going? Like what you about to do? Like
Right.
that's how you get your life right. Okay. So what have those hard conversations so that you can start talking about finances. And I know I talked about this last week, like with my grandmother. When my grandmother died, I was really involved, more involved than I ever have been in anybody's funeral. So then I
Mhm.
started to see stuff that was going on, and I'm like, oh, so like, oh, so this policy handles this. So this is how stuff happens. Okay, so now I took that and I'm like, let me figure out how to do policies and stuff. Matter of fact, let me figure out how to do what's going on right now because I'm trying to open up businesses. I'm trying to buy houses and cars. Well, not cars because I got my one car and I ain't trying to spend no more. But
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to do these things. I want nice stuff. I don't want to, shop and my clothes be raggedy because I don't know what. I guess we can't talk about raggedy clothes because they got these Yeezys out here. People paying all this money for, but I guess raggedy clothes is in. I don't know, but I want to look nice. I want to feel nice. I don't want to have to go to the for sale rack every single time and be like, oh, I can't get the one that just released because I can't afford it. Like I don't want to have to deal with that or live paycheck to paycheck, like or paycheck to Monday. Like that's not good.
Yeah.
So we out here. We out here. So I know you said something about leaving a legacy plan. When do you get your children involved with this legacy plan? Like, do you make these plans without your children? Do they get to say so? Because back in my days, we don't get to say nothing. But nowadays, parents are learning. Maybe I want to hear what my kids have to say. When do you involve your kids into building your legacy plan for them?
I say as early as they're able to comprehend, because once they're able to comprehend, it's really good to have those conversations, and normalize those conversations so that if something does happen, it's not such a big, like, and I'm not gonna say like a big deal, obviously it is, but it's not like a shocker, like it's not like a unprepared, like what do we do, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta have. And I just remember meeting with clients over time, and a lot of them, you know, they would lose a spouse and the other spouse didn't know nothing. Nothing. Like,
Yes.
I don't know I don't know. And it's like, no, if you live in the same household, y'all at least better know something. Y'all at least better have one concrete file. And it don't have to be, this drawn out, literally, like you can put it in it. We have an expanding file and we just have everything filed into different places. And so, if you get a will created, if you get whatever the case is, you put it in the one concrete location so no one is confused. Um,
Mm,
so I just think that conversation, can start as young as they're able to comprehend. If they're able to comprehend in school, they're able to comprehend, and you can baseline it like on a child's level. Break it down. If mommy's not here, if daddy's, if blah blah blah, making sure you have something in place. And I know Lisa talked about that last week, but it is definitely important to have something in place, concrete location where someone knows if something happens to me, this is how I want this to go.
yes, because the worst case scenario is for you to be unconscious and people trying to find your insurance card. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So, now you brought about we talked about children and stuff. Now tell us, because you have a project that's focused on kids. So for people that don't know how to start that conversation with your kids, let's start it off with a book. All right. So tell us about your new book that is releasing
Oh,
very soon. Tell me how you started. Why did you start this book series? I know you ain't got the whole series down, but book series. Why did you start this whole thing? What brought about this whole thing?
okay. All right. So, y'all, let me tell y'all. I remember, honestly, I kid you not, looking for financial literacy books for my daughter. Because
Mm-hmm.
one, that's a big topic for me. But not only just financial literacy books, I remember looking for financial literacy books of books that look like her.
Mm.
I wanted to be able to see my daughter in a book, you know, and for her to see herself in the book when she's reading, she don't have to see animal characters, or she didn't have to see, you know, other races that's not her, you know. She was able to see herself in a book. And so after like being frustrated because I couldn't find anything, and also too, I realized there was a gap of books between like there's a lot of financial literacy books for like the younger age group, like counting books and other things, but there was like a big gap between like the 3rd to 5th, 3rd to 6th, like chapter book range that was missing. And I'm like, well, who's talking to them? I mean, they're at a perfect age to really be able to pour in good information. Who's talking to them? Who's telling them, you know, in a fun way how to handle their money? And so your girl did what she did when she did. Honestly, let me not even say your girl, because I kid you not, the Lord gave me this idea while I was driving. I had just picked my daughter up from daycare, and he gave me the title. And so we'll talk about the title in a minute, but he gave me the title, and from there I just started writing. And thank God for a good editor, because child, I write how I talk, girl. It's terrible. But I wanted to make sure we had a gap bridge for that 3rd to 5th grade age range group, chapter book style, but that also talked about money. And able to definitely target an audience, you know, our culture that is oftentimes left out in the book industry.
Listen, God is, look, Angela, you're right. God is amazing, because
don't talk about it too much, Tap.
He will give us some stuff. Like, and it's so funny. Like, side note, God gave me my idea for this pet business that I'm about to open up, literally in the car too. Like, my car is like my mobile altar. Like that, I have my best Jesus moments. But when you listen to the Lord, I'm saying He'll set you up. It's so amazing. It'll literally be out of nowhere, and it'd be like, boop, drop that, download that, okay? And then you just be like, yes. So, but we ain't gonna, because we will be here all day talking about Jesus.
Don't even talk about it.
No, we love ourselves, the Lord. Okay, so
I get stuck right here.
A little bit about the characters in the book and what we can learn, because you know, some of us, we may be at that level financially to learn like the kids learn. So what can we learn from the book?
Okay, well, I want them to see the cover first, because the main character is in the book title, and then we're going to talk about what can be learned, what key lessons are involved. So you guys, are we ready? Are y'all ready?
So
family ready for the book cover?
In our season of premiere, okay? Yeah. So we are going to premiere. You gonna see it first here. So remember that when she big time author, listen, okay? It was first here on Behind the Highlight Reels, okay? So here we go. Whew. 4, 3, 2.
Stop playing with her. Wife, mother, and bestseller. They say cash rules everything around me. It's really credit though. Multiple streams of income. Descendant of Abraham's blessing. She will help you get your money right. Yeah. Credit cards and budgets. And she's good with the financial nuggets. Even she will tell you money is her thing.
Okay, listen, first of all, I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm like, I got so many questions. Okay, so Harmony. Okay, so who is Harmony? Okay. Like, what is that? The same person? What's up?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps. First of all, hearing my sister Mattia sing that song, and then seeing the cover, and I mean, so much blood, sweat, and tears went into this. I have been very sacred about putting the cover out there at the right timing, but because we're coming to crunch time, which will be launching in about 2 months. We're about to start pre-orders real soon, so I'm so excited about that. But yes, Harmony. Okay, anybody that knows, my daughter's name is Harmony. But if y'all look at the title, God is so strategic. Don't make me preach on this live, but God It's
Yes.
strategic. So in the car, he gave me the vision. And Harmony, as you can see, her real name is spelled Harmony, but on the book title he had me put the word money in it, so Harmony. So Harmony, so we're dealing with money in the empty piggy bank. And I wanted to say the empty piggy bank because a lot of our kids can identify with the empty piggy bank, but we also talk about a lot of different principles in that book, so that the piggy bank don't stay empty. Come on, we want a full piggy bank, okay? So what we want to make sure happens is that the piggy bank stays full. And so I have been able to have this conversation with my own personal daughter. It starts at home first, so I ain't gonna be out here talking to the whole world. My own child don't know nothing about money. So I've been making sure, but a lot of it is a story about a young girl. She wants something, she can't have it. Because mom and daddy like, you done already spent your money on your last thing. And so she's like, but I really want it. And so her and her best friend are at lunch and they're talking. Her best friend is Ava, and they're talking and they come up with a plan. And Harmony goes home, creates poster boards and all of that, gets the plan created. That next morning she presents it to mommy and daddy. And mommy and daddy gets behind her 100% because of the plan that she came up with. And because of the plan, she got way more than what she expected. And she gets to see all the different principles that comes in line with money, with a business, with entrepreneurship, with the fact of, profit and all of that. So it's all of those principles are in there. And at the back, it does have for the kids that get their book where they can start creating their own entrepreneurship plan. So yeah, so yeah.
Y'all know I'm all about entrepreneurship and teaching the kids about business, and you can't learn business if you can't learn money. So we need this whole thing. I absolutely adore that you have a workbook in the back of the book, because we was just talking about writing your notes. There you go. You right there with your book. Like, all you need is your book. You got notes in the back. First of all, I'm just like, absolutely love the book cover, and it screams out series. So I can't wait for this to be like big, big, big. Like, it's already big, but like where you like, oh, everybody naming their child Harmony, because that's what's gonna happen. Everybody naming their child Harmony with the money. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. But like, tell us, is this a chapter book? Like, is it more like a whole, how many chapters? Like, what grade read level is it? Like, what is it going to be for the middle school? Like, where do our child, where we get this book?
So it would definitely be targeted towards that 3rd to 5th grade range, which at that point they're already reading Dork Diaries. They're already reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which are chapter books. And even the illustration style is a hybrid between Dork Diaries and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The hybrid, so it's a good combination between the two. So you'll see those black and white illustrations on the inside. But yes, it is definitely targeted towards 3rd to 5th grade, but older age groups, they'll still be able to get it and understand it and love it. I know a lot of older ages that still read Dork Diaries, even though, so it's targeted towards that age group, but can definitely be used and be relevant to older age groups.
So I can see teachers using this book as classroom instructional book reading. Are we going to see an entire workbook for this that's literally like curriculum? And I may just be like, I'll throw something on people all the time. Are we going to see the curriculum for the class, the little breakout class?
Yes, you will at some point see a workbook. And it was like a small component put in this book, but I am in the process of creating a separate book that's tailored to complement that book and actually be able to give exercises, math involved in it. So teachers that's teaching math, they're able to easily incorporate financial literacy into that. At the same time, so it's not too much having to veer off their lesson. They actually have something that they're able to incorporate in.
So let me ask you, because I used to be a teacher. Are you going to have something that's going to be for teachers as well, like for us, like because you got the teacher book and then you got the kids book, something that teaches us how to teach them effectively? Because
That's a
even for parents, are you going to have something like that?
That's a good idea. I have not started that. I haven't even thought about that, but that's a great idea.
Look at the Lord.
But one of the things I did want to create is a book that's tailored to parents. Because a lot of parents are like, how can I teach my child finances if I don't know first? So the book is teaching parents finances, but at the same time, allowing them to start having a conversation with their children as they learn. So that is another project that I've started with visualizing, but not actually putting hands to the laptop yet.
All right, listen. So we already see, we know where this going. We already see where it's going. Y'all make sure y'all are looking out for the workbook for parents. She gonna help us teach, because I'm not a parent yet, but when I get to that place, I'm gonna need my little workbook. Okay, so she gonna help us teach how to speak to our kids, but even how, as not just parents, but anyone that deals with children, I'm sure they'll be able to use these same books and principles and things like that. Like I can see this in daycares. I can see this in summer camps. I can see this everywhere, girl. It's there. The Lord said, so therefore it is. Okay. And before, because we'll talk all day, and I don't want to hold y'all throughout y'all's whole lunch, because y'all had to eat, and you gotta get back to work and all that stuff. But tell us a little bit about how we can get in touch with Crystal, and first of all, when the book launches, and how we can get in touch with you to make sure that we on the list to get the information.
We are coming up with an official launch date. We had to change it due to waiting on illustrations, but the illustrations are completed. The book is now being formatted so that we can actually get some print copies on file. I want to just give a shout out to Audrey Hines, amazing publishing agent that is like the bomb, and she's been dealing with all my difficulties. So shout out to you, Audrey. You are the bomb. I love you, girl. But yes, so the book, we will start pre-launch real soon, like within the next 30 days. Pre-launch will be starting, and then book launch date TBD. To be what is
Determined.
it? Yes.
Girl, you got it. Determined. Okay.
I'm trying to make sure I had them words right. But in order to know what's going on, I always post in my author page. So author Crystal McLean on Facebook. And then we also have a link where you can go ahead today and subscribe for alerts. My landing page is being done by a graphic designer. However, as of today, you can go ahead and start getting some emails out there so that when new release happens, you will be the first to know. You will, via email, you will be the first to know. So that link is coming. And you guys definitely check that out. Go ahead and put your email. All I ask for is your name and your email, and that's it. So you will be on the list to get your book.
All right, so the link is below. Everybody, if you own here, all y'all replay viewers, go ahead and hit up the link so you can get the information, all the information about all the Harmony books, okay? And you can know as soon as it drops, the countdown, because, this about to be a big event, okay? So, oh, yeah. Okay, somebody said, I'm trying to read the comments to everything too, but somebody said we need a movie because I'm visual, okay?
Sister,
yes, okay, speak that. All right, so go ahead and hit up the link right now. Well, not right now, because you want to see the rest of the reveal again. We're going to do it again for y'all before we go. First and foremost, thank you, Crystal. We're going to have to do another one because this week, too good. And, we're going to have to do another one because we got more information to give, okay? Yes. Not next week. Hold on. Let me look at I do this every time. Y'all know what it is. About to tell y'all, if you did not watch last week's, because this is whole money mindset month, okay? If you didn't watch last week's, Crystal talked about it. Get yourself together. First Timothy talked about it. Get yourself together. Don't be out here leaving burdens and stress for your family. Get yourself together now. Go see last week's with Lisa Bailey on the page or the YouTube channel. YouTube, what is it? YouTube Behind the Highlight Reels. I almost gave you a wrong thing. And that was last week. This week we talk about getting your financial literacy together. Okay, how to do it yourself. But next on the 28th, I got the other half to Crystal coming on in here. Okay. Mr. Brandon McLean is going to talk to us. And first of all, the fact that I was able to get both of y'all, like the whole couple, if y'all see these two together, like you see Crystal, she already a mover and a shaker. And then you got Brandon, already a mover and a shaker. And you got them together? I'm listen, okay. I can't wait for the together episode. We ain't even talking about it yet, but we that's coming, okay? That's coming. Okay. So next, the 28th, make sure you catch Brandon, the other half of her. Go ahead and watch the last episode so you could just get everything together right now. And then go to Harmony Books and subscribe so you can get the information. And if you just want to be nosy and see what Crystal talking about and what else she got to offer for us, because she got some good stuff, go like her Facebook page absolutely right now. Okay. Before we go, I'm going to play the reveal one more time for y'all, because what is her name? Mattia, okay, because I'm like, I got it in my mind. Mattia, the song was rocking. Crystal was like, we got to make sure that we let people know. So if you need your YouTube intro songs, outro songs, anything like that, hit up Mattia Washington. Her information is on the page. Who else did you say? The publishing company.
Audrey Hines. Yes.
Audrey Hines. Hit her up. I don't have her information, but Crystal will put it on her page. So if you want the information, you better go like that Arthur Crystal, Crystal McLean page. Okay. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye. We will see you guys later. Woo! Let me get my little. Okay, wait a minute. One more time. All right. So here's that book cover again. Y'all have a phenomenal day.
Stop playing with her. Wife, mother, and bestseller. They say cash rules everything around me. It's really credit though. Multiple streams of income. Descendant of Abraham's blessing. She will help you get your money right. Yeah. Credit cards and budgets. And she's good with the financial nuggets. Even she will tell you money is her thing.